English language development strategies are useful anytime students face a difficult language demand, whether that's academic vocabulary in language arts or domain-specific vocabulary in content areas. This is a foreign language essentially to that student. So you can teach that foreign language using English language development strategies that help students access and understand the concepts behind the vocabulary. Emergent English language learners should read in their native language. So when we're doing SSR, they should be reading in their native language and while practicing communicative skills in English at school. Content should be taught in their native language. So again, in content area, text should be in their native language. English language learners will learn most of their functional communication skills from peers. So this is why acceptance and community building is so crucial, the beginning language learning phase of English language learners. Small groups lower the affective filter and allow them to tune in, which is why bilingual table partners can be such a powerful tool. And using Google Translate is really strong support. Pre-production and early production strategies. Teaching is primarily through oral activities, and texts are an extension of the vocabulary lesson. Teach essential content words in depth, and this is basically your core program. It's just teaching some vocabulary each day. The projects could be bilingual labels of pictures or scaffolded captions that you've taught them and repetitive patterns of basic English sentences, or sentence frames where they plug in the vocabulary word, or make lists of words to describe a picture rather than write an essay about it, encouraging bilingual writing. Illustrated books for English language learners are first fact books because they're very simple in their writing style. And you can build oral language activities based on these structures. You talk about the vocabulary and use some of the sentences in the pictures. Speaking lessons, we're reminded of speaking with someone. If you've had the experience speaking with someone who's learning English, it's very natural to slow down your speech and shorten and simplify it using more basic vocabulary and gestures, repetition, and as much as possible using illustrations. Intermediate and advanced speakers strategies very similar to those you would use with learning disabled students and students sometimes who are slow learners, perhaps at risk. You're focusing in on language demands. So you're focusing in on only essential vocab and concepts. You're shortening speaking or writing task. You're simplifying it, or you're providing the language needed. So you might have a wall where all the sentences and vocabulary words are already there that students will be using to talk about a concept in their groups and then to write about it, maybe write a paragraph about it. Providing a bilingual dictionary or Google Translate is very helpful. I think adding that to visuals and also finding video for domain-specific vocabulary, because these are usually concepts that you can't understand through a definition in any language. It's more of something you need to see to kind of grasp the concept. Also, develop complex concepts. Your intermediate and advanced speakers, and I'd say your emergent speakers as well, need to be reading in their native language, so they're not falling behind conceptually, learning concepts in science or social studies while they're trying to learn to communicate or develop their English speaking skills. Lesson plans. When you're looking at your lesson plans and you have that English language learner, you're thinking, what strategies can I use to increase their access or their comprehensibility? And what is the material that I'm using, the resources? Well, what language supports are there already that I can really focus in on um, for instruction modification for this lesson? And cooperative learning and peer tutoring is the best strategy for students with language learning needs.